Welcome to this short distilled look at the state of VR in Star Citizen as of, today, June 16, 2021. Basically, it was brought to my attention that one of the engine developers for CIG, Silvan, posted up just this morning about this VR goals after Gen 12 and Vulkan renderers are completed. And his goal to push for VR, including full body, once those goals are accomplished. I put up a few different things here. All of the Reddit posts would be basically set by this day. That's why it's such an important thing to mention, that it's June 16th, 2021, that you're hearing this. I know I recorded it anyway. In which case, hello from the past, if it's not. But just bear that in mind. So you're going to have to scale back the months to when that was to get an idea if you're looking at a roadmap in front of you and you're trying to see where things are standing. Basically, I would say that the Gen 12 and Vulkan goals are something, as Silvan mentions, is a short-term goal. And he even took it a step further and mentioned that there is multi-threading to be considered when you're considering different things. I would say that do not go out and buy a brand new CPU just for Star Citizen. First of all, if you bought a brand new PC and spec'd it out for like the future of Star Citizen, it would be outdated in a couple of years anyway. If you are looking at like upgrading from like a 4-core like I have, like an i7700K, maybe it's worth the consideration. Eventually I'm going to upgrade, but right now I can still run Star Citizen pretty dang well, except when New Babbage decides to become a fireworks house. But anyway, let's go back to VR, the main focus of this. And Silvan, I wanted to thank you for being transparent and having so many posts about this topic and showing us kind of how it's tied to the engine work. At least partially. I think it's really cool that you're in the VR community. It's a shame I've never ran into you, but if I ever do, be glad to talk your ear off about VR. My background in VR is that I started out with an original Vive with VR Chat. I was a community developer on there, making maps, aka worlds in that game, for folks to enjoy. And over time, slowly got into avatar building and things like that, and some of my assets are still contributed to multiple other folks' worlds that they're still actively developing. I have since upgraded to a Valve Index and use my original lighthouses with Knuckles controllers, and I do have full body tracking. I can say that full body is not a be-all, end-all, and it is not a full-time thing that you would use in VR. For those who are not initiated into VR, or at least full body, the most important thing is a comfortable headset that has a good refresh rate and good resolution. Doesn't have to be the best of the best resolution, but for example, the Index is incredibly comfortable, can run at comfortably at 120 reliably refresh rate. It can even experimentally go to 144. But also the controllers you use are very important. The Knuckles, for example, allow you to rest your hands for long play times, and they're more intuitive. They feel like you're actually using them as your hands would. Like when you touch the controller, it reacts to each one of your fingers separately. The traditional Vive controllers are great to a certain extent, but over time they can get tiring to use. And then finally, the Oculus controllers are actually quite intuitive, but the tracking on them is not that great when you reach behind your head where the cameras can't see. They use a completely different type of tracking. I'm not going to go into all the technical details of VR, but I do want to relay that the best full body currently is in that lighthouse technology that Vive and the Index and associated systems use, with the system being reflected off of your walls, basically, and then it detecting it. And that's kind of where I'm going with this. So I think that VR is something that's an incredible goal. I was very excited when Star Citizen introduced VR as part of the game. I think one of the things we should do is consider VR as like the first step being I'm sitting in my ship, I'm using my keyboard and mouse or a game controller, and I can look around with a headset on. Games like War Thunder are already doing this. And I think that would be a great first step into VR. And then the next step would be, okay, we're going to do VR headsets with controllers, and you can walk around the station. People can see your hands moving, and you can do certain gestures other people can't because you're literally tracking your hands and your head in the game. I find it even more exciting that eventually there would be full body tracking, and that would be the final stage. But I would say that with full body tracking currently, the best trackers are back to the Vive. There's HTC Pucks, basically, is their nickname. They're HTC trackers. You need 3 of them. One goes on your waist, one goes on each of your ankles, usually. And you basically have to walk up to a T-posing character. So your character may or may not be visible to other people, depending on how the developers decide to put it in. And you walk up and you line your hands and your legs and your waist up with your character, and then you like kind of like Iron Man suit, you walk up to it and then you press the 2 trigger buttons on your controllers, and then you're locked in basically. You have to recalibrate if you were to say walk out of the room or something else, like put your headset down and get a phone call and things. It's very common to have to recalibrate in the system. It only takes a couple seconds, but it is a barrier of entry, and it is something you would have to learn to do. Once you're in full body, it is an incredible experience. Your entire, when you're tapping to the beat of a song, if you're in a bar, or if you want to dance, or if you're in a firefight, you'll literally be able to run around and physically run around, or take a knee and be able to return fire or something. Or work on a piece of equipment inside a ship and physically, get into like an angle that makes it easier for you to be able to poke your head around a corner and see in a tight space what's going on. Like there's a lot of exciting things about VR, and full body makes it even more intuitive, immersive, I would call it, not intuitive. But yeah, I would say, Sylvan, please keep fighting the good fight. There is a lot of fans of VR in this community, and I can't stress enough, I'm so thrilled to see that this is something that's still on the mind of a lot of good CIG folks. And I totally respect that you guys need to knock out your renderers first and figure out how that's going to look and work through the technical debt that you mentioned about the CryEngine code and the CryEngine relics and lumberyard technologies and whatever that is. I'm not weighing in on that. It's outside the scope of this video. But when you do have time, please work on VR and let us know. There's plenty of folks that would gladly help you test. You don't have to tell us anything secret or cool or whatever. But we could definitely. I think they'd be glad to scrounge together folks to you can enlist to use for testing. It doesn't have to be anything special. In VR chat, when we do instance stuff, we'll pull everybody into a world to help crash it and test it and everything, and to crash test it. And honestly, it's 40 folks standing in a room before anything. The animations are added, the songs are added, and any of the stuff that's there. Just a sterile environment, and just see how it looks. I find it a very exciting place, and I wish you the best of luck, and to you and your team. That's going to do it for this Distilled with Red J. Please like, comment, and subscribe. It greatly helps the channel. And in particular on this video, any discussion about VR, I'll gladly answer questions if this is something new to you, or, hey, I'm an expert in VR and you forgot my headset, or or what about the Kinect camera? Please put them below. I tried to rein myself in. This video was originally, I think, 22 minutes long and now I've trimmed it down quite a lot to try to not overwhelm folks and really stress what matters. And what matters is the devs. It's not about me. It's about the devs and what they're planning to do with VR. We're starting to see the first iterations of it in the past few months, and it's a very exciting time. Take it easy, guys.